Oh, what a fun question. I'll tell you who it helps. Huge weekend for my guy Patrick Mahomes. Gets married and now has a chance to get even with Brady, beat him in a Super Bowl. So he's a winner. The biggest loser, however, is the guy Mahomes beating that Super Bowl that he won, Jimmy Garoppolo. Because, Brew, I think Brady's going to take Jimmy G's job. I think that Jimmy G is going to have to pick up his stuff and move down to Tampa. And nothing against Tampa, but he was going to have to move anyway, I guess. Tampa's not terrible, I suppose. Nothing against the third best city in the state of Florida. But Jimmy G's the biggest loser. I mean, it's tough. That Brady, I think, is going to end up a Niner. He's going to take that job, and it's going to look bad because I think the Niners will instantly be Super Bowl favorites and prohibitive favorites to come out of the NFC. And I understand they got to a Super Bowl, Jimmy G, and they got to an NFC Championship game last year. But I think it's the final twist of the knife for poor Jimmy G. He didn't ask for the Patriots to draft him, but they did. And I think Brady's now going to take his job. So I think he's the biggest long-term loser in this whole thing, Brew.
Well, I agree with you. First on the Patrick Mahomes thing. He has to be, I shouldn't say he has to, but this does give him another chance to beat Brady. Brady's gotten the best of him at an older age. So, yes, this gives him a chance for that.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Jimmy G, though, Nick. He was on his way out anyway, right? Most likely. I mean, I guess there was a sliver of a chance he was staying in San Francisco, but it seemed like he was going somewhere else. Now, maybe it would have been a better situation than Tampa Bay, which if they end up trading Brady, may go into rebuild mode. So I hear you there. But I'm going to go with another guy in the NFC. How about Aaron Rodgers? Okay? Again, we talked last week about how, wow, well, you talk about most of the great quarterbacks are in the AFC now. Oh, how smart Rodgers was to stay in the NFC. You got Dallas, which is full of dysfunction. You got the Rams who are trying to, repeat as getting back to the Super Bowl. You got San Francisco with a young Trey Lance at quarterback. Arizona's got issues with Kyler Murray. Like Russell Wilson jetted to the AFC. It was wide open for Aaron Rodgers to win the NFC and get back to the Super Bowl. And now you have to deal with your nemesis. And yeah, I'm saying it. He is Aaron Rodgers' nemesis because while Rodgers can say, oh, I'm more athletic, I throw the football better, and everybody else says that as well, Brady is the better quarterback, period. Brady has the intangibles that Aaron Rodgers doesn't. Brady, while not as gifted as Rodgers, has dominated the Rodgers era. Okay, and now he comes back. He's 3-1 against Rodgers. Rodgers only beaten him that one time. That was 8 years ago, back in 2014. And so, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Nick, in my view, is definitely the biggest loser. And I think mentally, I don't think Rodgers isn't mentally strong, but I do think you can get in his head, and I think Brady is in his head. And now it's like, man, I got to go through this obstacle again. So Rodgers is the biggest loser.
Especially, so we just got news just in the last few minutes, Wilds, that Davante Adams is telling people, I won't play on the franchise tag. That if I don't get a long-term deal, I'm not playing. And it's going to be harder to give him a long-term deal, one would think, because Rodgers just agreed to $50 million per year. I would think Brady, the last contract he agreed to was $50 million for 2 years. I think that whatever team Brady's on next year, I think we can all assume he's going to be way underpaid by choice. I think there's a chance he takes even less, reworks his deal, Wilds, to take even less to help whichever team he's on compete. And I think that's going to look tough for Aaron Rodgers. If the Packers are in a staring contest with Davante Adams, ostensibly because they don't have the money, and Rodgers sitting there as the highest paid player in league history, while the Bucks or whomever Brady's playing for is reloading, I think the dichotomy of that's a bad look for Aaron Rodgers if Brady takes even less money, which I think is a real possibility.
Well, that was the whole secret to Brady, right? That he always took less money so the Patriots could build a full team around him. Not to totally switch the topic, but Nick, do you think that Aaron Rodgers signed that big deal without knowing whether Davante Adams was going to show up or not? Because it feels to me that they would be part and parcel, where it's like, you know what, we're a team. We put our little last dance photos together. It feels like they would be a package deal. So I thought it was going to be a Aaron Rodgers signs, Davante signs, like we're good to go. So you don't think that Aaron Rodgers had that in the back of his mind, like he knows how the cap works?
Well, yeah, but I don't think it was at his highest priority. I do think, by the way, that they will get something worked out with Davante. But again, in a hard cap sport, Brew, if they make Aaron Rodgers the highest paid quarterback ever, and they're going to have to make Davante Adams the highest paid receiver ever, that money comes from somewhere.
Right.
What I'm interested in, Brew, is, and what I thought Wildes was going to ask was, did Rodgers take that contract and decide to stay in Green Bay thinking Brady's gone? Like, that, I look at the NFC. I can take more money. It doesn't matter. The NFC's not stuff. Brady's out of here. And now Brady's back.
Right.
Like, your answer is better than mine on the Jimmy G thing. Because you're right, Jimmy G's probably leaving San Francisco anyway. It is most interesting of how did this land, on Aaron Rodgers' news feed? How did he, how did he absorb this info? I'm really interested in that.
He probably it probably led him to drink a little more scotch. I would bet on that.
Yeah.
And I would bet that of the guys that got Texas, Ryan Jensen, a few at Gronk, I don't think Aaron Rodgers got a text from Brady before the announcement, hey, I am coming back.
Probably
so,
not.
Look, your point, I agree with you. I think that this is bad for Aaron Rodgers. And as you said, we'll see what the numbers end up being for Brady as far as what he plays for. But it is going to be a horrible look if his team, wherever he's at, can reload and add these players and Rodgers is struggling to get Davante Adams signed. Oh, it's going to be a bad look for Rodgers.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.